I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so...
What was meant to be a triumphant return for Rachel Zegler has unraveled into something that looks a lot more like career implosion. Her latest film, a high-budget production hailed as her shot at redemption after previous missteps, didn't just hit a delay. It shut down. Fully and completely, no vague rescheduling or creative recalibration. The cameras stopped, the crew went home, and behind closed doors, Hollywood began whispering a very different story than the one publicists might want you to hear. The studio tried to blame scheduling conflicts, but insiders on the set knew better. From the start, there were murmurs of growing tension. It wasn't technical issues or script troubles that sank the shoot. It was, according to those involved, Rachel's behavior. Early signs of unrest started small, rolling her eyes during line readings, showing up late to set with coffee in hand, ignoring directions during blocking rehearsals. One lighting tech said it felt like Rachel acted as if she were doing the production a favor simply by being there.
I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years.
But the problem didn't stay small. Multiple sources describe her challenging not only her direction, but the script itself, allegedly insisting that her character be rewritten to better suit her personal image. The script had already been finalized. This wasn't about creative collaboration, it was about control. The final straw came during what was supposed to be a routine direction session. When the director offered some simple notes on delivery and pacing, Rachel allegedly snapped, raised her voice, accused him of undermining her talent, then stormed off set, still in costume, while the cameras were rolling and extras stood frozen, in stunned silence. From that moment on, the atmosphere reportedly turned toxic. One actor refused to shoot further scenes with her unless a mediator was present. The makeup team began rotating shifts to avoid her trailer. An assistant described the situation as a walking PR nightmare. And yet, according to sources, Rachel claimed she was the one being targeted, that she was disrespected, that she was the victim. What makes this more explosive is how familiar it all sounds. For many, this was déjà vu. After her widely panned remarks about Snow White, there had been hope this new film would mark a reset.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
Instead, headlines flipped. From Zegler's comeback to Zegler's career crisis. She was no longer just polarizing. She was becoming a liability. Social media was merciless. Memes took over. Reddit threads lit up. One viral post read, "She's not unlucky, she's just unlikable." This wasn't some indie project where chaos could be swept under the rug. It was a studio vehicle designed to revive a starlet's narrative. Now it risks becoming the film she killed. Industry insiders began taking notes. Studios, agents, casting directors, all asking the same question. Do we want to risk our money on someone who might implode mid-shoot? Desperate to salvage the situation, Rachel reportedly began reaching out, calling in favors, contacting journalists she'd once clashed with.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah.
But the industry response was chilling. Silence. Not a single co-star or director stepped forward to defend her. No supportive tweets, no vague Instagram stories, just nothing. The absence of support was deafening. Even celebrities who once name-dropped her on red carpets were now ducking. Questions. Studio statements became cold and procedural, and one actress attached to a future film with Rachel quietly backed out. The reason given? Creative differences. Hollywood code for, "I saw the headlines, I'm out." As damage mounted, Rachel took to Instagram Live, against her PR team's advice, and unleashed a defiant rant. Hooded, sarcastic, and defiant, she said, "Everyone's ignoring my calls. Whatever. It's chill. I don't care." She smirked. She rolled her eyes. And when she teased an upcoming talk show appearance, hinting at more to say, it felt less like damage control and more like gasoline on fire. Then came TikTok, self-deprecating jokes about double the trouble, as if the drama was an inside joke. But the timing was horrific.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no Prince or a different kind of Prince?
Her online meltdown was happening in real time. even as reports from the set painted a picture of tension, fear, and legal panic. Sources close to the production say her posts prompted the studio's legal team to review whether Rachel had violated key clauses in her contract: confidentiality, non-disparagement, professional conduct. One assistant even filed an internal report claiming they felt unsafe after being yelled at by the actress. Suddenly, this wasn't just a PR crisis. It was potential legal exposure. The studio began documenting everything: screenshots, time, stamps, interviews, internal memos. This wasn't about saving a film anymore. It was about insulating themselves from potential millions in losses. Insurance providers, notoriously risk-averse, were reportedly already warning that they might refuse coverage if talent disruption continued. In response, the studio was rumored to be drafting an exit clause, one that would allow them to sever ties with Rachel without reshooting the entire film. The aim now wasn't to salvage the movie, it was to stop the bleeding. Meanwhile, Rachel's brand was quietly being erased. A major campaign deal vanished overnight.
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because, like, we cast a guy.
Her face removed from promotional materials without fanfare or statement. Other actors allegedly asked casting agents not to pair them with her. Her team, once eager to promote her as the face of Gen Z talent, now had to wrestle with a very different narrative. A narrative that no amount of authenticity could clean. Rachel's situation is already having ripple effects across the industry. Agencies are implementing stricter clauses for actors under 30, especially those with large online followings. These contracts now warn: express yourself at your own risk. The era of unscripted rants and red carpet rebellions is being reigned in. Rachel was once branded as refreshingly real. Now that label reads more like PR hazard. Even young stars with similar activist reputations are being advised to go quiet. One actress was allegedly told to delete an entire Twitter.
In the movie, right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. Yeah. It's one of those things that I think everyone.
Thread after signing a multi-picture deal. Another was advised to take 6 months off social media. It's not just about Rachel anymore. Her downfall has become a case study in how not to navigate modern fame. She was once held up as a model for how Gen Z could break into Hollywood on their own terms. Now, her story is being used as a cautionary tale. The industry that embraced her for her boldness now sees her as a liability. A producer called her a walking HR risk. A casting director said she made activism look bratty. Whatever good intentions she may have had, they were lost in the noise and in the narcissism. Rachel was supposed to elevate the story. Instead, she became it. Comeback stories are not rare in Hollywood, but they require allies, support, someone to fight for you behind the scenes, and that's what Rachel no longer seems to have. The studios are quiet, the brands have gone dark, the fans are torn, and the headlines now use her name as shorthand for problematic. In a business built on perception,
it's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is...
Silence is not neutrality. It's abandonment. Maybe she'll bounce back. Maybe she'll give an emotional interview, apologize, promise to grow. But it may not matter. Because right now, the door isn't just closed, it's locked. Quietly, without fuss, the industry has moved on. Her big rom-com, already recast. Public explanation, scheduling conflict. But everyone knows the truth. Rachel Zegler was given the moment every aspiring actor dreams of. And then, on the biggest stage with all eyes watching, she burned it down in real time. And so, we're left with a lingering question. Is this the end of Rachel Zegler's rise? Or just a brutal lesson she, and the industry, will never forget? Only time will tell. But either way, her name is now etched in a very different kind of Hollywood legend. The kind no one wants to follow.